Hello students, hope all of you are doing well. So welcome back to your chemistry class. Today we are going to start chapter 5, that is language of chemistry. In this chapter we are going to study the terms which we use in the chemistry. So students, in our daily life we use abbreviations or short form like ASAP, as soon as possible, PTO, please turn over. All of you have heard about these abbreviations. So in chemistry there is also the abbreviations. We can say it is the symbols or formulas. So chemistry is the study of large number of elements and compound, and these elements and compound represented by symbols and formulas. So in chemistry there is also a large number of chemical reaction in chemistry. So in chemical reactions we represent reactants or products by symbols and formulas. So the reaction become chemical equation. When we represent chemical reaction by symbols and formulas, so it will become chemical equation. So in this chapter we are going to study chemical equation, how to balance the chemical equation, and type of reaction. How many types of reaction are there in chemistry? So we are going to study all these in this chapter. So let's do it one by one. The next topic is chemical reactions and equation. So first we know what is chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is the process in which reactants convert into the product. And chemical equation, when we write chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formulas, so it will become chemical equation. So here definition is written: a chemical equation is a representation of chemical change with respect to symbols and formula of different compound. So here is the example. We write this reaction, we write the name of the element in this reaction. Hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, these are reactants, and sodium chloride and water, these are products. So we write this chemical reaction in the name. So this is called the word equation. And when we write this equation in the form of symbols or formulas, so this will become the chemical equation. Like HCl, all of you know that the formula of hydrochloric acid is HCl, and NaOH for sodium hydroxide, NaCl for sodium chloride, and H2O for water. So this is chemical equation. Now you can understand what is the basic difference between word equation and chemical equation. If we write the name of the element, it is word equation. If we write the formulas in the chemical reaction, it will become chemical equation. The next topic is how to write chemical reaction or equation. So there is a format to write the chemical reaction. We write reactants on the left hand side and products on the right hand side, and we put plus sign between the reactants and between the products. So the meaning of plus sign is and we put the arrow between the reaction. It means react to yield. So this is the format how we write the chemical equation. Now, and there is one important point: we write always reactant and products in their molecular form. For example, if we want to write twice O, so this is not right, because this is atomic form. We always write O2, that is molecular form. So this is very important point. Keep it in the mind that we always write reactants and products in their molecular form. Then we come to the word equation. I told you in the previous slide what is word equation. When we write the equation in the name of the element, when we write name of the element in equation, it will become word equation. So here is the definition: equation in which reactant and products are represented by their name is known as word equation. And here is the example: iron and sulfur, they will form iron sulfide. So you can see in this reaction the name of the element is written. So this is word equation. If we write the formula in this equation, so this will become chemical equation. So you understand what is the difference between word equation and chemical equation. The next topic is molecular equation. What is molecular equation? When reactant and product are represented by their symbols, we call it molecular equation. Example, iron plus sulfur, iron sulfide. So in this reaction you can see there are the symbols or formulas. So this is called molecular equation. Then we come to the balanced chemical equation. What is balanced chemical equation? So first all of you have to know why should we balance the chemical equation. What is the necessity to balance the chemical equation? So we balance the chemical equation to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. What is the law of conservation of mass? Matter neither be created nor be destroyed but can be converted from one form to another. So this is the law of conservation of mass, and we balance the chemical equation to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. So what is balanced equation? In balanced equation, number of atoms on the reactant side always equal to the number of atoms on the product side. So the process of equalizing the number of atoms on both sides is called the balancing a chemical equation. Here the definition is written. The process of equalizing the atom of each type on left hand side and right hand side of an equation is known as balancing a chemical equation. In simple words, you can understand the process of equalizing number of atoms on both of the side, reactant side as well as product side, is known as the balancing a chemical equation. So here this point is very important, that in balanced chemical reaction, number of atoms on the reactant side always equal number of atoms on the product side. So this is very important. If the number of atoms equal on the both sides, then we can say the chemical reaction is balanced. The next is step 4th. Balance by putting 2 in front of that compound to make the odd number even. In last step, we see that oxygen was present in odd number. So we make it even by multiplying by 2. So here is the equation. We multiply iron oxide by 2. So the oxygen atom will be even. Here you can see 4 atoms of iron and 6 atoms of oxygen. So they are become even. So in third step we check if there is any element present in odd number, and we convert it to the even number by multiplying by even number. So this is the next step. Now we come to the step 5th. Now balance the reactant side by putting 4 in front of iron and 3 in front of oxygen. So this is reaction. Now we are going to balance this reaction. How we balance? We multiply 4 by iron and multiply 3 by oxygen. So here you can see 4 atoms of oxygen and 6 atoms of oxygen. So we have to balance this equation. In this equation you can see this is not balanced because there is 1 atom of iron and 2 atoms of oxygen. But on product side there is 4 atoms of iron and 6 atoms of oxygen. So we have to balance this. For balance this equation, we multiply iron by 4 and we multiply oxygen by 3. So you can see in this equation now 4 atoms of iron and 6 atoms of oxygen. On product side 4 atoms of iron and 6 atoms of oxygen, means number of atoms on the reactant side is equal to number of atoms on the product side. So this reaction is balanced. So these are the steps which we have to follow to balance a chemical reaction. In your book you have so many examples of balancing a chemical reaction. So do practice of it. Try to balance the chemical equation and do practice of it, so you will be perfect in doing this. The next topic is chemical reaction. As I have told you earlier that chemical reaction is the process in which reactants are converted into products. So here one more definition. A chemical reaction is said to take place when the old matter transforms into a new substance. So this is the another definition of chemical reaction. Then chemical reaction are broadly classified into 4 main types: synthesis reaction, decomposition reaction, simple displacement and double decomposition or double displacement. So there are 4 types of chemical reaction: synthesis or combination reaction, decomposition reaction, simple displacement, double decomposition or double displacement. So we see this chemical reaction one by one. So the first type of reaction is synthesis reaction or combination reaction. By name you can understand, combination means two reactants will combine and they will make a product. So this is combination reaction. So what is the combination reaction? When two or more substances combine chemically to form a single product, the reaction is known as synthesis reaction. So you should know this, that their reactant can be two or more than two, but product always will be a one, because this is a combination reaction. So two or more substances combine chemically and they will form one product. So this point is very important. Keep it in the mind that reactants can be two or more than two, but product always will be one in the combination reaction. So in this example you can see there are two reactants A and B. When they combine, they will make AB. So AB is the combination product, or this reaction is called combination reaction. Here is another example. Twice H2 hydrogen plus O2 oxygen and they will make water. When hydrogen and oxygen combine each other, they will form water. So water is an example of combination reaction. Then same, carbon and oxygen. When carbon and oxygen combine in the presence of heat, they will make carbon dioxide. So carbon and oxygen combine and they will make carbon dioxide. So these are the example of combination reaction. In your book there are so many example of combination reaction. So go through it, then you can understand very well. So this is a combination reaction. Then the next reaction is decomposition reaction. So what is the meaning of decomposition? When bigger compound or complex compound breaks into simpler compound, we call this decomposition. So what is the decomposition reaction? When bigger compound breaks into two or more simpler substances, the reaction is known as decomposition reaction. So in this reaction, reactants will break into two or more simpler substances. A complex substance will break into simpler substance. You can see the example, the reactant is AB and in the presence of heat, it will break down into A and B. So AB will break down into A and B. So this is called the decomposition reaction. In our body, digestion is also an example of decomposition reaction, because in digestion, complex molecules break into the simpler molecules. So digestion process is an example of decomposition reaction. Here another example I have given, like water. When water in the presence of electricity, water will decompose into hydrogen and oxygen. So it will break into hydrogen and oxygen. Potassium chlorate will break into potassium chloride and oxygen. And mercuric oxide, it will break in the presence of heat, mercury and oxygen. So this is the example of decomposition reaction. And here one important point, here reactant is 1 but product will be 2 or 3. So this is just opposite of combination reaction. Here reactant always be 1 but product can be 2 or 3. So all of you keep this point in your mind. This is very important. Here you can see as well, reactant is 1 and product will be 2. The next reaction is simple displacement reaction. So what is this reaction? When one element displaces another element from a compound and take its place, the reaction is called a displacement reaction. Or in simple words we can say, when more reactive element replace less reactive element from a compound, it is called displacement reaction. You can understand it by the help of an example. In this example, you can see reactants are A plus BC and the product AC plus B. It means A is more reactive than B, so A replaces the B. So this is the displacement reaction, or A take place of the B, because A is more reactive than B. You can understand it by the help of another example, like magnesium plus hydrochloric acid HCl. What will form? Magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. So more reactive element replace less reactive element. Magnesium is more reactive than hydrogen, so it replace hydrogen and magnesium chloride will form. Here you can see in this reaction there is a arrow pointing upward. So what is the meaning of that arrow? That arrow shows that there is a evolution of gas in this reaction. Hydrogen gas is liberated in this reaction. So the arrow pointing upward shows the evolution of gas. So it is very important. Remember this. In next reaction you can see there is also a arrow pointing upward. That means hydrogen gas is liberated, or there is a evolution of hydrogen gas. So in next example, sodium and water, what will form? Sodium hydroxide, and hydrogen gas is liberated, and we will show this by arrow pointing upward. So in this case sodium is more reactive. All of you know that sodium, potassium are more reactive metals. Sodium is more reactive than hydrogen, so it replace hydrogen or take the place of hydrogen, and hydrogen gas is liberated. So this is displacement reaction. The next reaction is double decomposition reaction or double displacement reaction. In this reaction, radicals are exchanged. Here the definition is written: when two substances react by exchanging their radical, the reaction is said to be double decomposition. It means there is exchange of radicals. You can see the example AB and CD. These are reactant. So A is positive radical, B is negative radical, C is positive and D is negative. So positive radical goes with negative radical and negative radical goes with positive radical. So there is an exchange of radicals. You can also understand it by the help of another example, like sodium hydroxide. We know sodium is a positive radical, hydroxide ion is negative radical, and HCl, hydrochloric acid, hydrogen positive, chlorine negative. So what will form? Sodium chloride, means positive goes with negative, and H2O. So you can see there is a exchange of radical. Positive radical goes to the negative and negative goes to the positive. So this is nothing, there is only exchange of radical. So this is the double displacement reaction. Students, we are closing this chapter here, so go through it carefully and try to understand the new terms which we use in this chapter. Take care. Thank you. Have a nice day.